having lots of fun here. We are opening up yet another call, I should say interview, within the e-commerce business school. And I always like to just double check and make sure yes, we're live. Cool. All righty, greetings. This is Ann Sieg. I'm the founder of the e-commerce business school. And we are here yet once again through the Voice of E-commerce broadcasting arm. I'm losing track of what I've said already as I'm multitasking, grabbing my sheets so I don't miss anything. Anyways, I'll just say we're really excited for you because this is the 4-day grand opening and we are in day 3 out of 4, for which we are providing all these very in-depth interviews for people who are looking at e-commerce business school to find out how they can take their current business, if you already have one, and take it to the next level, or it may be that you're looking at e-commerce for the very first time. So we're really excited to share this information with you, including our first ever live, free membership. So that is joinebs.com. All right, so we have a very special lady here with us for today. Her name is Kristie Dugan, and Kristie is calling in from, where are you calling in from?
Traverse City, Michigan, up in the very northern tip of Michigan. Yeah, in the Lower Peninsula.
The Lower Peninsula where the cold wind doth blow?
Yeah, sort of right here.
The bottom part.
Right. It's not too bad today. I mean, it's rainy. We just got rid of all of our snow, but we're supposed to get more snow tonight, I think, and tomorrow. So we've got some weather advisories, but whatever. It's Michigan.
Yeah. It's Michigan. What do you expect, right?
Just look out the window. That'll tell you all you need to know.
Yeah, that's everything. There's the whole story. Right. All right. So, Kristie, we have had a recent in one of our interviews just yesterday, as a matter of fact, and she has chosen you.
Yeah.
For mentor to follow.
Yeah.
And I think very well chosen, actually.
Oh, that's so kind. I know when I was watching, I was like, what?
Yeah, all of a sudden, and it's because we're going to get into Kristie's background and such, but I just want to say, Kristie is a strategic partner and by default and a member of the e-commerce master's program, which many of you have been hearing about these last 3 days. Part of the e-commerce master's program provides this accountability review that I provide every week. And Kristie, you are so faithful. You are so detailed. You are so strategic that I gave you an A+. This past week, I'm just like, can it get any better? And it's really a delight for me because I'm able to follow you every single week and to see your progress and the way you're strategizing and coming to, these deductive conclusions about, therefore, I'm not going to do toys. I'm going to do more replenishables. And I'm like, right. I love seeing this play out, hearing your thought processes through the accountability report. I love it. It's a
fantastic tool. I love it. I mean, I look forward to, it's like we're waiting. Sharon Stafford and I are like patiently waiting. And by Thursday, if it's not out, boy, we're like, hey, we need our accountability report.
Someone's gonna hear about it, right? And I'm so aware. I had posted it and I'm like, gals, I'm gonna hear from Sharon any second. Hurry. Anyway, so all right, let's go back in time. We're having fun here talking about it is just so fun to watch your progress.
Oh, thank you.
But once upon a time, you came brand spanking new and you showed up at our event and I will never forget you. So why don't you share with the folks your background?
Oh, boy, I think I've been sort of prepping myself my whole life sort of to find EBS. And I'll say why. When I was a teenager, my whole goal was to be able to launch my own business. I think at that point, well, it was back in the day, but I think I was going to have my own secretarial services because that's what I was doing, business stuff in school and working for the paper and stuff like that. And I thought, well, I could do that. And, life happens, you get married, you have kids, blah, 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 things go on hold. Tried a lot of MLMs and things like that. And just wasn't my cup of tea. Just, I wasn't meant to be in front of somebody selling something. It just wasn't me. And I think I tried 4 or 5 of them before I really kind of grew and understood, okay, so self, that is not what we're good at. You know, we just need to do something else. So I got back into something that I had done in the past, which was event planning. And that was a lot of fun. And I really realized that that was something I was good at. And so I eventually found a gal who did parties on the weekends. And so I was able to work for her, not as my own business, but I worked my own parties. You know, I was an event coordinator. I would literally show up two hours before, set everything up, and run the whole party. And that was fantastic. I worked 1 day a week when my kids were little, and I did this for like 9 years. But what it taught me was to be able to go into an event where I knew no one and just take charge from every aspect of the party. I was running the whole thing, from the chef to the, you know, the band, to just everybody, to the host. I mean, you know, I was taking care of everything, plus watching 135 kids, which was not easy. Because they were 13. And as you can well imagine, that's just not a fun chore for anyone. But I learned a lot of skills. And so in learning those skills, I'm like, well, okay, I still want to own my own business. So I'm going to try it again. And I think I ran into another MLM at that point. I was like, you know, you still have to figure this out. This is just not the thing that's going to work. So I had my, what did I think I did some database management for some people just out of my home. I was trying to, you know, just think of all these things I could do outside of my, you know, in my house. So I didn't have to work for someone else. And, you know, I mean, I did little things throughout the years. It didn't quite work. So I eventually ended up going back into event stuff and working for a hotel. And then I just was always looking. And one day, I think this was 2015, your email pops up. And I'm like, huh, now who is this person? And what are we going to have to do here? And it was like, well, it was selling, but it was on the internet. I'm like, oh, now I don't have to stand in front of anyone. I don't have to pitch anything. I just have to go and get these products and sell them. Now I can do that. And I was listening to what you were saying and about your family story, and it just resonated with me. And I'm like, okay, here's this person, and she's a family person and all these things. And all of that stuff was something I wanted to be a part of, because that's who I was. So, so that's kind of my background. And I just think all the life skills had kind of led me to a point where I was ready for having my own business. And that's why EBS was just so enticing to me. And I just kind of grew from there. But in thinking that I was ready for my own business, it was amazing how much I did not know. And I needed EBS more than I even knew to even realize where I'm at now. I would have never been able to do it on my own. Certainly, I mean, I probably could have, but it would have been a whole lot harder. I needed some knowledge, and I gained that through EBS. So that was it. I thank you for that.
You're welcome, and thank you. I've been taking notes. I love it. You have been a project manager. You're highly analytical. You're a problem solver. You're very aware of your skill building. You are looking for something that fit you, and you were able to discern what did work, what didn't work. Along came this opportunity that seemed to check more of the boxes that would work. Converse to, like you say, MLM didn't, because you figured out, no, I don't want to sell in front of people. That's not my thing.
Right.
I also want to, in terms of when I look for success drivers, why is it some people succeed more than others? I get unique I become uniquely, very intrigued about it because I do my utmost to ensure success for everybody. So I'm looking for these things that help, character attributes that create a great outcome. Here's what I noted about you.
Oh.
I remember you coming the very first time. I remember exactly where you were sitting. I remember Sharon Safford like yesterday. I remember exactly where she was sitting. And here's what I remember about you is you came and you had already made the mental and emotional commitment. And you came for a whole slew of days, if I remember correctly.
All 5 days of the summit.
So there wasn't a little, I think I'll put my pinky toe in. You were already all in. And so much so, I noted that you started at a time when it was past the time to be able to get in to do FBA and the toys. But you went, oh, well, I have an option here. And I don't remember if it was Josie or Brian, whomever said, well, you can do merchant fulfilled in the meantime.
Yeah, it was actually Danita.
Danita, okay. Yeah. And that's what you did. Yep. And what I loved about your story there is so often people look for oh, I knew it, game over, not going to work for me. But instead, I remember you sharing that with Danita now, that it was it was the interview about the live events and why to come. And you got that discovery, which might have been a roadblock, but for the fact that Danita gave you an alternative.
Right. And, it's, that's just kind of who I am too, because I'm one of those people who, I look to myself and everything that comes up in my way, I think, okay, there must be 10 ways to figure this out. I just need to figure out what those 10 things are. And so it's a lot of self-discovery. Mm-hmm. And I have learned throughout my life that every time challenges, and life is challenging, let's face it, everyone has their challenges. So there's two options. We can let the little black cloud follow us throughout life, or we can learn from those challenges how to evolve, grow, whatever. And so, I was already in full momentum when that hit. And I was like, I will not set down the cart because the wheels are in motion. Yeah, I must keep it going because it's harder to set it down and pick it back up again than it is to figure out a way through this mess. Mm-hmm. And then when it just impressed me so much that Danita just took the time to readjust, because it wasn't just me that happened to. Right. But she readjusted what she was training. I was at the Shop Your Way to Wealth event at that point, and she put in a whole section just for people like me about what we could do and how to merchant fulfill. And I will tell you, I merchant fulfill probably at least a third of my products still to this day. Wow. And I also do, as you know, the Facebook Marketplace and
yes, you do
eBay, everything else. Because products have to sell. If they're not going to sell on Amazon, then they're going to sell somewhere else. I'm determined.
And I am going to have to drive or to shine a spotlight on this too. This again from your accountability report. So it's true. Sometimes you have to pull back inventory, but instead of focusing on the negative, not Kristie. Kristie goes and gets resourceful. And before you know it, Kristie's selling eBay. She's selling here. She's selling. And you're just owning this and you're going to move the darn product.
Oh, yeah.
And so I always tell people, and they may not like to hear this, but it's a fact. Business is a series of problem solving exercises.
100%.
400%. And so part of that is having the proper mindset, which means to be able to be open, to adapt, to be resourceful, to think outside the box. It takes kind of a special person, but success leaves clues. And so follow the people who have demonstrated they know how to problem solve their way to success. True.
Absolutely. It's funny you say that because one of my top skill is from the Skill Finder is the empathy. Not many people have that one. But my second skill is adaptability.
Mm.
And so I think just from having those things is just sort of my natural wheelhouse. It um it just doesn't even, I mean, yeah, it phases you a little bit, but not so much to say, oh, now what am I going to do? No, no, no.
Yeah.
You just say, okay, well, what's next? We have to figure out this and then we'll move on. These are paths and everyone has to choose a way through their life. And so you just decide which path am I going to take? And I always say when something goes wrong, okay, so what did I do? How do I fix it? What do I learn from it? Because
Yes.
obviously there's
Yeah.
something that happened here
Right.
that I'm meant to learn.
That's right.
When problems come up or challenges, opportunities is what I like to call them.
There you go.
Something happens that I'm meant to learn. Even, you can walk through a store and someone will say something or something will happen. And my reaction to it is I'm reacting, there was a reason that happened. I'm a firm believer in there's a reason everything happens, and I'm meant to learn from the different things, or help someone that needs to learn something,
Yeah.
that they're having a hard time with, and it's fun. It's a fun process.
It is. See, you nailed it.
Yeah.
That's a unique personality. It's a success driver to be an entrepreneur, hands down. If you don't have this attribute, your whole business is going to be nothing but this drudgery. And instead, you're fascinated by it and intrigued, and you're going to problem solve through it. All right, let's move on. You mentioned about that when you tripped over my information, you noted I was a family person.
Yes.
And I use the term family because I'd like you to share with everyone. Indeed, you have done something rather similar, if not even more so.
Yeah.
You've expanded your vision and you have demonstrated enormous leadership into your family by virtue of your business. So please share what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it really all started unknowingly way back when I had my kids, and knowing eventually that I wanted to have this business. And I'm a visual person. I have this sort of visionary type thing. I can envision how I want my life to be.
Right.
I know what I mean. I might not know exactly, but I know the direction.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I can put thought to that and really and be specific, the more things actualize. And so, growing up, I always taught my kids to be out of the box thinkers. I've never been inside the box, so I really don't even get it. I don't understand what happens inside that box. My husband is an inside the box thinker. He and I are just like, I don't even get what's going on here. But so he's learned a lot from me. I've learned a lot from him. But the main thing is that I've taught my kids to think through things differently. And so they've grown up to be these, I know I'm a mother, and I'll just put the pride out there, exceptional young people, right? And they're doing things with their life that I'm so proud of. And they both have a desire to do good for the world in such a large capacity that when I looked at what kind of business do I really want to do? Mm-hmm. Okay, I got the Shop Your Way to Wealth course. I got the book flipping course, things like that. That was all going along. But I knew that was the catalyst to get me.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah. So I have that going along, and I'm modifying it, and I'm making it my own, and I'm, I'm not doing toys, and I'm, all of those things, and I'm making that monthly income that gives me the money to be able to place it where I really want it to go, which is to build this family business. So now I have my kids who are in this green space, both vegan, both very green, and both from a different perspective. And so I'm like, what kind of business are we going to do? And they're so inspiring to me because I need to be more healthy. So this is just really my journey towards health and wellness, but it can be a whole family business, and we are teaching other people. Because I think there's a whole generation around my age that, when we were younger, we were taught, this, and this, but all of these things have really been modified a lot. And I think we're kind of stuck in that, well, wait, that's what we were taught. Well, yes, but we grow and we evolve and things get better. And so I'm just taking what my kids have really started and sort of bringing it into a business format, and now being able to have this platform where we can share it with like-minded people and non-like-minded people, but people like me who are searching and wanting information. What can I do to help? What can I do to change? How can I be healthier? What can I do for the environment? All of these sorts of things. And so so my son, he gives me information. He works with top scientists around the world through his internship. He's still in college, but he was at Oak Ridge Labs a couple of years, and he will be going back there. They have offered him a nice package, but he talks with these people, and he told me the last time he was there, it was mandatory that they have 2 hours that they go to these lectures, and it was all about our effects on the environment. And that was pretty profound to me, that they're taking these kids, well, I say kids, but there's really internships from all levels of life there, but they're making them go because it's such an important thing going on, and people need to really be aware of that. So it's fun that he's giving me this information from these people. My daughter, who is more of a graphic arts person and tiny house person and all of these things, she's bringing her skills into this. She's going to be designing things for me. She's a writer, so she likes to write our blogs. And she does all sorts of green stuff. I'm sure you've seen my Facebook Lives. And so she and I together kind of formed this little team, because she's here and my son, he's downstate. But so she and I have really been kind of marching this thing along. And now her boyfriend is going to be my tech person.
Yes, I read just recently.
I will tell you that this kid is so techy. And again, with certain issues, it became a situation where, well, we have lemons, what are we going to do with it? Are we going to, let's just grow from this moment. Let's take this opportunity and figure out a new path for ourselves. And so I think things happened where I needed some technology skills badly to get my platform launched, my Our Green Space launched, and he had the skills and he needed some extra cash, and I was able to provide. So I think it was a win-win. And so now I have sort of a little team in place. And then of course my parents are here and they're helping with, my mom helps me get product to FBA and doing all sorts of things. And my dad helps doing all sorts of things. So it's really just kind of evolving into this cool thing. And then you add my brother to it, who runs a construction company. And he just recently went to work for an environmentally friendly company as well. So he's going to be doing some things there. And then we're going to, in the next probably 6 months or so, we're going to be launching our tiny home business.
Awesome.
Through this. So it's really just evolving, and it's evolving so quickly.
It's snowballing.
It's crazy. But it's fun. I mean, it's kind of careful what you wish for, because here we are. I've envisioned this. And I think I even talked to you at that very first thing, what I envisioned. And it's happening.
And it's happening. How cool is that?
because I've gone through, and the reason I became a strategic partner was because I knew I still lacked the skills I needed to make it to this point.
Yeah.
And I knew that you had the team in place that could help me get to where I needed to go. And in fact,
awesome.
that has happened, and it's a work in progress, but I'm so ecstatic, and I'm so thankful to all the trainers, because they've all had a part to play in everything. So
it is spectacular, the progress you've made. I believe that was fall of 2016 when you were there.
yes.
That's 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's amazing progress.
Yeah.
So let's wrap this up by talking about, there are people watching twofold, some who are already in the e-commerce business school.
Right.
But I'm just going to say, for example, just this morning, I was talking to a mom whose daughter is now moving from Houston to where I live. And she said, Ann, my son-in-law is looking for a business he can do at home. Tell me about your e-commerce business school. So let's have you share, for those who are listening, who are considering a new business, just like you did, except you had dreamed for it for decades. Right. What can you tell them about? And we have a brand new free membership where they can just come in and check us out and gain a sense of who we are. So go ahead and speak to that.
Yeah. What's holding you back? It's really, EBS is just a place where you can get to know just some incredible people. There's accountability. There's people from all walks of life, but all with us, just a similar vision of being a business person, but also learning and growing. And the Facebook pages are immensely helpful. There's so many people that are willing to share, what they've done when things go wrong, or sharing your success. I love helping anybody who's on there that really needs help. If I can help in any way, I'm happy to. If I can, I'm happy to throw a trainer's name in there that can help. It's really just such a positive place. It's not drama filled, which I so enjoy. It's just a bunch of people just trying to build each other up and teach. And, I know for me, the more I teach the stuff I'm learning, the better I become at it. Mm-hmm. And the better it kind of ingrains all the stuff that I'm learning. It just helps me. And I think a lot of people are like that. And so we just are all sharing and building and learning. And there's a huge brainstorming type of thing that happens. And I think it's just an awesome place for someone who is new and looking for a place to be. This is a good place to call home to learn how to be a business owner.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristie. Wow, you've been very impressive your last 2 years. I'm so excited to see the further developments in your business. It's been phenomenal to watch.
Yeah, so thanks for having me on the
absolutely. And I'm pretty certain I'll have you back again, Kristie.
All right.
Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. Please leave some comments for Kristie. And then too, don't forget, if you're brand new, you can take advantage with joinebs.com. All righty. Thank you. Bye, Kristie.
Have a great day. Bye.